And to close out the 2019 CGI Rochester International Jazz Festival, Mr. Trombone Shorty, welcome back to town.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So let's take this back a couple years ago. So much has changed. I mean, the TV shows, touring around the world, but how do you stay so centered? Because everybody else has changed, but you haven't.
Well, at the end of the day, we just want to play music, and I've been playing since I was 4 years old, so that's never changed. And as long as I can make sound, I'm okay, And we just love bringing joy to people. That's the spirit of New Orleans, and that's what keeps me there. It keeps me grounded, and just the message of music and joy. That's what I want to spread around the world.
Speaking with Trombone Shorty, we lost a couple of icons in the last few days in the world of New Orleans music. Dave Bartholomew just died at 100, and then, of course, Mac Rebenak and Dr. John. Talk about Dr. John in terms of his influence on you, your family, as well as the culture of New Orleans music.
Well, Dr. John actually learned the guitar from my great uncle, my mom's uncle, Papoose, and he played with Fats Domino and those guys. So he spent a lot of time around my family. Up until he passed away, he was a part of my family. He'll come out and hang out at my grandmother's house. They'll talk about old music. He spent a lot of time with my grandfather writing music. They did a couple of records together in L.A. When they moved out there, came back. So he's been a great influence, and he's given back to me my entire career. Since I was born, he was always there and guiding me and helping me out or calling me in and giving me all type of great advice, and just told me to keep going.
Speaking with Trombone Shorty, Trombone, I'd like to personally thank you for something. Countless number of kids of color have picked up instruments because of you and watching you play and seeing the joy you have and the influence. And again, we can't thank you enough, because really, without you, I can't tell you how many kids would not be playing of color, because they listen to it, they can rap, which is cool, and sample, but they actually play the instrument is really beautiful, and it's because of you.
Thank you, man. That means a lot to me. Thank you for telling me that. And, I just want to inspire, and let the kids know it's cool to play instruments. It's about how you approach it and what you want to do, because sometimes I think in school, playing marching band music or whatever it may be, sometimes I can be a bit boring to them, But in New Orleans, brass and bands are cool, it's more important there to play the tuba, the trombone, the trumpet than it is to play guitar. So that makes me very happy to be able to have an influence on the youth.
Speaking of Trombone Shorty, you came up with a generation that came up with yourself, of course, Juvenile, and a little older than you, but 504 Boys. What was it like growing up in that era? Because, there's so many amazing icons of New Orleans in the past, but you guys brought it to the next level, the next century.
Yeah, well, I'm friends with Juvenile. We actually work together all the time in the studio. Master P, all those guys. So I'm much younger than them, but growing up and seeing that whole wave of another side of New Orleans legends opening the door, it was very, very intense, and they were taking over the world like a storm, and to see that happening and to be able to talk with them about it and create with them is incredible. And I think when I was in school at NOCA, I was supposed to be going to listen to whatever music. I was listening to the Hot Boys and Master P on my Walkman, so that was way more exciting. So for me, still to this day, the way they were rapping, the way Manny Fresh and KLC made the beats, I have those influences in my music from growing up listening to them and being around them. So it was crazy just to be able to experience that as a kid and now be friends with them and hang out.
Speaking with Trombone Shorty, last question. What does it mean for you to play here in Rochester at this jazz festival?
Rochester has a special place in my heart. I've always looked forward to coming back. And from years ago, we played all different type of venues, and then we got to the street. I forgot what street it was, but it was like thousands of people for like 10 blocks, and these buildings and people hanging off the street poles and the signs and different things like that. And I just love it here. The people give me an unbelievable amount of love and support. And every time I was just walking around and people are just yelling out thanks for coming back. And I'm like, thanks for having me. So as long as I'm able to perform, I'll always be back in Rochester.
Thanks so much for taking jazz further.
Thank you.